It Grand Rising Collective. Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm naturally soft spoken, so if you see me out and about, or if you worked with me and you'll say good morning. One, I don't say good morning anymore, so I may say good day, Grand Rising, or something like that. And also, I have a really soft voice, so if you don't hear me, I definitely responded. So there's that. That's out of the way. And let's see. I don't know, yesterday I picked up on something, and it's just like, it was just out of the blue. And it was a FBI agent being followed or stalked by a lawyer. The FBI agent was, stalking someone else because they had a false investigation launched on them. Now, I'm not picking up that it was the FBI agent. It could be that was who launched the false investigation or had something to do with it. But I wasn't really picking that up. It was more like a family member or someone else who called in some reports enough to the point that it launched an FBI investigation. And collective, some of us and I'm picking up on a case that is pending and coming to a close due to irrefutable evidence, or it is already closed and the decision is made in your favor. And that, I don't know, that was just a quick download I was getting while I was kind of standing there semi-busy, looking out to be busy. But yeah, that was something that I got. And case closed is the title of that I have for this particular message, this particular video. Just case closed, like whether it's pending still or not. And expect a subpoena, expect a a letter. Of course, this has been in a lot of the readings as far as court cases go, but a lot of criminal activity has been transpired in the justice system, ironically enough. Abuse of power is a definite in every which way possible, down to every branch, every field, every position that you can think of, in every possible way. Every line that was written that was supposed to pertain to justice has been abused, basically. And this was what was being racked up so that these people can receive the karma they deserve. Because when your heart is weighed, it's weighed in different ways, and when you don't go in and do the inner work, it is weighed externally, and you don't know it's being weighed. But when you do the inner work, you sit there, with Anubis, and you just, you go through the motions, you go through your emotions, you cycle through, you process, and like, where was I wrong in this situation? Where what could I have done differently? What could I change? An array of things while you're sitting there in solitude by yourself, because it's something you have to go along. That is a ritual you have to do by yourself and not include anyone but you, because that's, at the end of the day, that's who you have to face. That's who you have to go to bed with, you. Even if there's someone laying next to you, you still have to go to bed with you. You still have to live with you, look you in the mirror, and it's like, these people who do not go look within and do their own shadow work, do their own, go through their own dark night of the soul. They are launched into it after the fact, because they have done no internal work, so they're not ready. So this is why they, that shadow work starts hitting when they start seeing that, that their downfall is inevitable. And that's the start of their process. And that's why they fight so hard. They're like, no, we're just gonna keep more of the thing, keep doing more of the shit that we did to stay on top of it, and keep our foot on these people's neck or whatever, or pull them down and keep them down until they have abused enough of their power for their heart to be heavy in the process, that their hearts are being weighed, their shadow work. And of their own shadow work. So when you've done the shadow work or they'll send people in to get close to you and then try to, so in some way, shape, or form, betray you, expose you, and stuff like that. And like the thing about the collective is that we're naturally just transparent people. We're not around to play games or any shit like that. We're just there to help. The whole thing that people fail to understand, or they do understand and they really truly want us defenseless, is that we can tap into our shadow side to defend ourselves. And sometimes it is a necessity to tap into our shadow side to defend ourselves. And yeah, that's just all it is to it. Sometimes it's a necessity, because sometimes there'll be so many different entities coming out, body jumping vessels and so many different people, that it's like, you're kind of forcing it here. It's kind of like you call that judgment on yourself, just like they call the judgment of having a heart way by having a heavy heart, being hateful people. And it's like, what do you want me to do? Sit here and put up with your shit? But that's the whole thing. They don't want you to tap. They're playing in their shadow, they're frolicking in their shadow right in front for all to see. But once you say one thing, it's just like, oh my God, narcissistic injury. Like, yes, it's crazy as fuck. These people are batshit crazy sometimes. And, it's because they want your divine inheritance. They want your abundance. But, whether they realize what they're doing or not, they're siphoning energy, they're harvesting energy, and harvesting people's energy, especially when you're talking about, like, my whole thing is they've been talking about, the sexual aspects of me, trying to harvest energy harvest off my sacral and root chakra, and trying to calling into places, trying to get me, my contracts canceled or get me fired and all this other crazy bullshit. And it's just like, hopefully you guys find something safe to do, because it's really not about to be safe for these people carrying these energies, who have let these energies take over their body. Not entertaining is one thing, but when you let it completely take you over to the point that you're just, you're going out your way to fuck with somebody, that's just you accumulating horrible karma. And the thing about karma is it's a slow burn. It's kind of like an hourglass. It's like, in one of my videos I had an hourglass, and it's basically, letting those grains of sand, the more grains of sand you let run through that glass before you correct yourself, the heavier your heart's gonna be. It's just like, oh no, look at all the bullshit I did behind the scenes to this person, when all they did was speak up for themselves. And look at this and look at that. I didn't even try to stay on the right side of things. I didn't even, it was just like they pretty much, like illegal surveillance. Like, I feel like I got, honestly, microchips, because I could not have my Bluetooth in. And guess what? I could say something like, just kind of to myself, because I talk to myself sometimes, but you're also talking to the Most High, and that's a trait of highly intelligent people, is that we talk to ourselves, or we'll respond to something, and it's just not worth responding to, outwardly. It's not worth the energy to respond outwardly, so you just keep it to yourself. And sometimes just like, sometimes you got to say shit out loud to process it. Like, there's different ways to learn or process things, and that's what people fail to understand on the 3D. Because of 3D, there's just one way of thinking, and it's shame and, it is shame and guilt based, just like it's straight narcissism out in the 3D. Like in the 5D, like there's only one perspective in the 3D. I was speaking to somebody like about that last night at my shift, because I pulled a double yesterday, and like, I don't know why, but my shifts this morning, because I had to leave early from one shift, how I had it scheduled, and it was like totally my fault. They had to cancel the rest of my shifts in the morning this week. I was gonna pull doubles all week or whatever, but that didn't work out, because I think I know why it is, but I can't speak on it, because it's like, I think it's like a corporate type thing. I don't know, but they are all canceled, and I guess they were under pressure, end of the month type. So whatever they handle on their end, that's on them. But it's like, there's a link That's all I can say, without compromising, whatever they got going on, or thinking, feeling like I would. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. But no hard feelings, whatever it is. I guess maybe see them in the future or not, whichever. Ain't no hard feelings over here. Whatever they did because hopefully because it was necessary and they felt they had to, and exhausted all other options. That's all I can say. And yeah, so that they do this because they know your energy. Like I've had people I had a situation. I'm not done with my clearing yet, so I'll probably be on a little later today. After I take a nap or something, if I can, because once I wake up, I am just up. It's there's no real, going back to sleep for me. Once 5 o'clock hits, that's just it. So I'll find out if I'm fucked or not. On the sleep aspect, and man, they just do so much. It's I just think about it. I'm like, these people have families, kids at home, marriages that could all, and they don't think of the consequences that shit could really be in shambles. But it's also usually if they're going this far to go out of their way to screw with somebody, everything they have built their foundation on has been false. That's another thing I have noticed. It's their marriage, so and all they can talk about is how much money they make. They don't, they don't know the person's what they like, what song they like to sing to themselves, or what makes their heart sing in general, and wonder why they're always talking about they're always bitching and complaining and this and that, sitting around with the buddies having beers and stuff, and just if somebody's always complaining, then clearly you guys need to get together and resolve these issues. But they all the way down to their personal life is part of why these people, they love to do these things and they love to gossip. It's you're not even happy in your own fucking life, man. It's just why, it's hard for me personally as a thinking person to sit up around these type of people and energies. It's kind of I can't be around that. I can't have you you're gossiping 1 second and then in my face, the energy gets kind of distorted for me. I read that shit, I feel that shit, and especially if it was about me, of course, because you're pulling on my energy and nobody asked you to pull on my energy. That is breaking a spiritual law when you're pulling on the energy of someone who isn't even thinking about you, isn't fucking with you, isn't even, and they think you can't feel it. It's no, you're trying to form a tie that isn't supposed to be there. You're sitting up there talking about somebody else, and then you go smile in their face, and they're not gonna notice that energetic shift. No, dude, you're all up in. There's a lot of people in the collective energy. If you're out here on your spirituality kick, your spiritual journey, not kick, but your spiritual journey, and you're real dedicated to it, and you're just 10 toes down, man. It's just I'm not moving, I'm not backing down. This, that, and the third, then, there's attacks coming in left and right. You're getting attacked on every way possible. Even some of us physically attacked. And physical attacks don't have to just consist of, someone just hitting you or actually touching you. It could be somebody trying to body shame you. That's that's a double-edged sword. It's well, that's a mace, actually, because it's they're attacking your psyche, they're attacking your crown, it's just and they're attacking your, when somebody betrays you, it's an attack on your intuition, because just why did I trust this person, even despite, what my intuition already told me, right? Because the whole thing is we're soft-hearted people, and we believe in giving people chances, second chances. So the lesson to learn for that is just not to even fucking go there. That's what they're teaching us. Just don't even bother, and then you have the issue where these same types of people that would only come in to betray you to begin with will be pissed off at you for not even giving them a chance. And it's just like, like there's a whole thing going on social media about me right now where there's some people hanging on to my genitals basically, trying to manifest off my sacral chakra, clout chasing. It's just like, apparently, people know me like everywhere I go, because it's like I hear about this shit everywhere I go from people I do not know. It's just like, and when you're sitting there, like, when people are sitting around like circle jerking each other to your energy, and that yes, they are literally doing, people are, that's what I pick up on quite a bit. There's someone right now masturbating to someone's picture or a secret video of them or something like that, probably in group sessions. Sometimes when you wake up drained, it's because people did rituals like that. You don't even like, you could be in a relationship or whatever, you're just not in the mood for that, and not just for that person. Like, typically you are, right, and you want to be intimate with that person in some way, shape, or form, but you just don't have it. That's probably like an ex or some shit trying to do some type of sex ritual, come to me spell, and or forget me not. Like, you could really just not be thinking about the motherfucker, and they're sitting somewhere masturbating to your picture, and hoping that you come back, and like they want to do this come to me spell because they don't want to be the one to be like, oh yeah, I came back to you, which is that's some silly shit. Like, if you're feeling it, then feel it, but if you got a solid no, then go somewhere and heal, because it takes two to make anything work. It takes two for a relationship of any type. It takes two. It has to be equal give and take. For any type of situation to work. You have to be. Even if your 100% doesn't match up to somebody else's 100%, it's still your 100%. And like, the best thing you could do with somebody from the collective is just truly be your authentic self. Don't be around faking, fake flexing, all this other shit. Just just be you, do you, and stop trying to be all this extra, this, that, and the third. Stop trying to be, like, if that crowd isn't for you, like, we can tell that shit. That's not your crowd. You can tell you don't really fit in there, but you can't be around us either. It's hard for us to be cohesive energetically if you're sitting around hanging around people, being fake around people that you don't fucking belong around. You don't have to be a part of us, or you don't have to be a part of anything. You could just be kind of solo dolo, which is a collective energy, to be honest. Like, you're just being true to yourself. You're figuring yourself out, finding out what you like to do by yourself, and what you're passionate enough about to introduce to other people, and you can rock with them on that extent. And and the whole thing is like, we get into these different aspects of life, different hobbies, different things to do, different things we like to do, or don't, and we run into a bunch of different energies who are just in there flexing. Like, they really do not like what they are doing. They are there because they haven't found a way to go within and heal themselves, or they're just absolutely terrified to do that kind of work. They're not there yet. They're not tired enough, because one thing, when you get tired enough for something, that's when you start getting, you start putting in a work on yourself and getting results. And you get tired enough. Like, I've been in so many conversations, like, I'm probably a household name at this point, or a household conversation, whichever way. And I don't know how far spread this is, because apparently there was someone traveling to slander my name, and creating toxic work situations for me, that trying to affect my bag, because they would literally come in screaming about some gossip, and sitting there hurling insults, doing word magic, trying to make me feel some type of way, trying to lower my self-esteem mainly, and ruin my confidence. I'm like, you're like, my whole purposely avoid, and they're sitting there trying to bash me, and it's like, no. Just no, because it's like, what are you doing? Like, you can't lower my self-esteem when you're the one constantly checking for me, because treasure gets sought after, trash does not. So you can't lower my self-esteem, even if you're going out your way to just try to bash me. It's just like, it doesn't work. It's just like, because you're still checking for me, though. Like, if you're trash, you know, people aren't worried about you, people aren't thinking about you. You kind of get just, thrown away, swept to the side, swept under the rug or whatever, and that's that. And I tend not to treat people like that until, they decide that they want to try to play games and cross me or whatever. And, it's just like, because all the games that have been played with me over time, I've left a lot of people behind. And most of it has been truly illegal. Like, I've had a lot of lies spread about me that, I didn't even care to correct. It's just kind of like, okay, well, let's see the caliber of people who believe this, and I have not been wrong. It's not a game I play. It's kind of like, yeah, do I want to correct this? It's like, are you still gonna, who's gonna still be down for me, if they believe this is true? It's just like, you're, as if you believe this to be true, and then, you turn around, betray me because of what you heard about me in my personal life, nothing to do with you. And then in that case, if it was something to do with you, then you could come confront me, right? If it was about you for real. And I'm not, and don't start off with the small talk and all that stupid shit. Like, just straight up confront, because people like to play these games where they'll try to, sweet talk you, get in good, and it's like, just get to it, get to the point, but my whole thing is like, I'm done, and that's the whole thing, is they want to attack you. They want you to be sitting up defending yourself against all these rumors and lies instead of what they're actually doing. So what I was doing when I was posting on Facebook was posting what these people were doing. I was having some fun. I was making jokes with it too, but it's like, that was the joke. It's like, what they're doing, they're behind the scenes, is worse than what they're trying to put on blast about me, right? And what they're putting on blast illusions any fucking way. So it's just like, no, and that, they say sex sells, so they use, some of us, we heal through sex. We heal other people, we heal ourselves through sex, and that's, we heal through all our chakras, and some people just know how to do some heal through other chakras, some chakras better than others. I manifest a lot. I manifest all the time. I just finished manifesting, making more money, and boom, there it was. Just I spoke it, and then an hour or two later, I picked, I saw some shit that was like, all right, cool, which had me ready to work some dough. But even still, without that, I'm still, on the up and up. I'm still making more money. It's just the whole thing is they'll say bad karma, but it's no, it's bitches behind the scene trying to sabotage you because they don't like you. Period. They don't like how you move. They don't like, or they want to be you. They want to try to steal your energy. They want to see you react in a certain way, as if you are devastated by a loss or something. But it's when you got the Most High on your side, you don't trip about that shit. You're just well wishes, and I hope you do better in life. I hope you are able to open your third eye chakra more and see through more illusions, because the person, so it's the whole sibling effect. They go out of their way to fuck with you, and then you say something, and they swear you retaliated when you just defended yourself, and it's just a sibling effect. Oh, I'm gonna fuck with you until you respond, and then I'm gonna run and tell. That person is the one that needs to be investigated, the motherfucker that's running and telling, because anybody who's been abused or, being abused, they just want to move on in peace. That's really all they want to do, and the person that's always running and telling on you is just kind of well, damn, maybe you're the problem, because you could literally, stay away from that person. I've had situations where somebody will be in an entirely different workstation, come over there fucking with me, and then try to run and tell on me. But you didn't have to be there for that. You didn't have to subject yourself to that by first coming over there where I was with that intention. And to engaging in that energy with me. Like, you could have came with an intention, but once you act on it, or once you speak with that intention, it's kind of like, well, right back at you, because that's your energy. Like, you can keep that. I don't want that little nasty shit. Just please and thank you. Keep it to yourself. And that's what they're finding, is just like they're miserable and gossiping because they are going through the terrible fucking karma. Like, they are the ones who are stuck in contracts as far as their housing, their homes. They're stuck. Like, they got mortgage, they got HOA, or they're paying rent for something that they'll never own. They're paying copious amounts of money for shit that they'll never own. I can't do it. I chose to live within my means, and that's not my fault. But yet, and still, they try to ridicule how I'm living my life. I'm living a life of freedom. Because basically, I'm like, I might be struggling a little bit, because these people have been attacking my finances so viciously, so relentlessly, and then trying to make it look like it's my fault, as if I'm incompetent and can't do it. And then on top of that, coming into the establishments, doing black magic, throwing out word magic, trying to like be a distraction. And then they have people all around talking about it, talking about the shit in the work environment. It's like, I'm trying to escape it. I'm trying to find, I have to really train myself and hone my energy, and hone my skills and my transmutation, and single out my own energy and encapsulate it in some form of protective energy, so, in my energetic and auric field. So, I felt that yesterday, along with the energy shift of, old energies dying off. Like I was explaining, like the collective energy is going to be so big that little, that negative energy is just going to get phased out. It's just going to get like eradicated through, what's the word, surface area tension. I think I said that right. It's kind of like, it's just going to be, it's just going to keep pinging against the collective energy, the positive energy, until it's just like no longer there. Because it's just like, while we may be losing roles, positions, or whatever as a result of their magic that they're doing behind the scenes against the collective, once they do that, and they lose a solid worker, or somebody who at least tries and isn't lazy or whatever, or in a solid partnership, I'll say partnerships just to keep it plural, because there's all kinds of different partnerships, relationships, then that can't be repeated, because like the whole thing is like, it takes the collective through a healing. And then like also the ramifications of it, it's like, why did you keep fucking with this person to the point that they responded like that, right? Then it's like, that energy from that person gets like, phased out, eradicated, or those people. It's like, like that's why these corporations, I'll say, let's go like business corporations, they have the meetings, or they have like processing that they, weed out toxic, or they used to anyway. Like it seems like lately people just get away with shit, just saying anything. Like from what I've been hearing, okay, I'm not gonna say any names or whatever, but hopefully, this video catches on, and these corporations start healing to not be so fucking toxic and letting certain people, because they hold certain position, or they kiss enough ass to get the position, or get in a position, after getting off their knees or whatever, to be able to just free reign, because they have, they did black magic on a person, have some blackmail over someone who may or may not, who may be participating in infidelity. So either not fall for that shit in the first place, not even go for it, especially at work, shitting where you eat. It's just like, that's a lesson I learned, about a job. On a job I didn't really care about, because I quit while I was on vacation, to be honest. And long story. Anyways, yeah, it's just like it'll be phased out. Hopefully that's what happens, because these people in positions of power, they get smoothed got temptation thrown at them. When you have power, especially over yourself, you get temptation left and right, and to the point it's just like, it ain't nothing. Once you go through your healing journey, it ain't nothing for me to reject that bitch. It's just like, and that's like what I've been my entire life. It's just like, it's never been anything for me to reject people. But the whole thing is like, it seems like the more you reject people, right, the more that elevates you, and the more offers you get, the more temptation that's around you in higher forms of your higher self. So like when I was out there, kind of out there, not really like that. I could say I was out in the streets, but I was just working, and it was stress relief. It's not like I was just constantly out there hunting and fighting for pain. One thing I'm not about to do is fight for pain. It's just not fucking happening. Like, I don't care how many toxic trash chicks come in trying to make me jealous of whatever they got going, and they're trying to instigate a beef between me and them because they want to fight for some dick. It's not fucking happening. I'm sorry, excuse my language. Hopefully this video doesn't get taken down, but that's just what it is. They got a bunch of, like, the main chicks that are coming for me are like, these fight for pain chicks, and I'm just like, no. Like, I will go to Popeyes and fight over a chicken sandwich before I'll fight for a man or anyone who isn't loyal to me. I'll fight over. Like, I'll fight for someone. Like, like we're both fighting in this. We're in this together. We got to work out these issues. But fighting over a motherfucker, ain't no way. I'll go fight over the biscuit itself, that dry ass biscuit. Sorry, but they do got some dry ass biscuits. Before I'll fight over a man or some pain or whatever he has going for himself that he feel like that this chick feels like she should be fighting over. I've just never been that type. I'm like, if you can get, if you can get them, you can have them, sis. Like, okay, more power to you. Maybe you'll have a different experience than me. Maybe better. Maybe you'll be able to keep them. But they say the same way you get them is the same way you lose them, right? So yeah, there's that. I'm just like going through a different array of energies and different scenarios. That's all I'm doing on my way home, be it, and that could be in any aspect, any way, shape, form. So I'm trying to remember how I even started the video off, to be honest. Yeah, just the crooked energies trying to drag the collective down, the people who are willing to go in and do the inner work. And what they don't realize is that when you're building up karma externally, right, when you're building up karma by way of black magic manipulation, it just takes longer to come back. And when it comes back in multitude. It comes back exponentially, to the point that you will not be recovering. See, the whole thing is they attack us all throughout our youth, the collective, from the time we're born, because they know who we are from the time we're born, from the day we're born. Like, they try to sacrifice us in the womb. Like, I remember my mom, whatever, saying she, about one of her sacrifices that it fought to live, and she had a hell of a time giving birth to me. So apparently there was black magic done over the womb, either by her, by someone in her family, because I got a family full of fucking witches, man. I'm just like, ew. Do they know they're witches? I believe so. By how they move throughout life, they definitely know. There's an air of confidence when you can hide behind a candle with some spell books, and think you're getting away with shit. It's just like, no, it just comes and hits you in your old age, and you can tell on some of these chicks' faces, they like where they would, if they stayed on the up and up, they would look so youthful, so healthy, so happy in life, and then they're just like, they look like these sweet old ladies who just had a hard life, or they're just, bitter old ladies that nobody wants to be around, and it's just like they just kind of get left in a nursing home. Depends on how well they wanted to play their cards, right? And after the black magic has backfired, people are like, oh, why is Nana so sick? Like, why is she going through all this shit? It's because she probably sat there and did black magic over the whole family, and in every aspect of her family's life, like as far as like love life, try to control their love life, their finances, so that they will always come back to her and give her their energy, because some energy comes in the form of just it's something as simple as just attention. Like some people just they love attention for whatever reason. It's weird. It's just like, can't get enough attention, just have to have that as a part of my daily narcissistic diet. If you don't give me attention, I'm gonna absolutely die. That's why I have this life alert button that, even though I was told to stay in bed or, stay there, I'm gonna get up and do this anyway, because, I'm a fighter where I never was, a fighter before. I'm sorry if that's somebody's nana, but, that's just what it is. It's just like I was always vulnerable and helpless, and now, in the later years, the dying years of your life, when they stop getting the attention, suddenly there's all kinds of trips and falls and stuff like that, like willing to hurt them. So that's a narcissist, though. Narcissists are willing to risk their life and hurt themselves for the sake of attention, and I can't say, like, if you're suicidal or whatever, because some people really do go through some shit. Some people are suicidal for no fucking reason. Like, is there really a reason to be suicidal, or do you just need to go heal? I think that's a pretty obvious answer. And healing isn't easy for everybody. Like, letting go can become so easy if you heal. Like, it wouldn't be nothing for a person to let go. Holding on is what the fuck hurts. Like, you're holding on to pain, literally holding on to pain. Like, you're playing tug of war with yourself. Let that shit go. Like, when you play tug of war with a narcissist, you have to do the shit where they think they're winning. You gotta you gotta give them a little slack, and then to the point that where they fuck. And that's what the Most High does energetically to a narcissist. They'll, like, give them a little slack, give them a little rope, let them think they're winning, let them think they're really fighting for something. And then you just let go. You get quiet. You let go of their rope and let them fall on their ass. And there's that. You just sit back and kind of can enjoy the show or not. It just depends. Because I don't know if anybody. Well, I'm pretty sure we all know that trick. It's just like, hold the rope, fight for a little bit, pretend that you can't overpower this person, because why exert your energy that way when you just leave it to the Most High and you just let them go to God? It's a simple method. Like, externally, like, you can really just get quiet on a person. They're gonna say some shit that's probably gonna, like, be an attack on your ego or whatever, but it's just like, that's your ego. That's your ego healing. Like they say soul healing, and there's also ego healing, because the ego doesn't go away. It's not something that's ever going to go away. That's why, you have feelings and things like that. If you don't have an ego, you probably don't have any fucking emotions, and you're just like creepily unemotional and happy all the time. But there's a difference between unbothered and unemotional. Like, unemotional is just robotic. Like, unbothered is just like, shit, I'm still gonna move out of love either way. Like, because that's how we were put here. Like, a baby, children, they move straight out of love. They just do what they want. Like, I remember a car ride with my son. He had an incident at the beach where he just finished crying, and like, he fixed the problem himself. And he was like 6 years old at the time. And I look in the rear view, he looked like he was just like in the deepest thought ever. Like, he was thinking of some like epic ideas and like some profound shit. And it was like, it was profound for me, because the answer was simple. Son, what's on your mind? It's like, cookies. And that was like the greatest thing ever. I think I told this story before. And I was like, that is hella profound, because it's just like, and I was like, okay, let's go get us some cookies then. You want ice cream? Yeah. Okay, cool. So we got cookies and ice cream. And that's how, when you're like a child before the Most High, you get it. You get cookies and you get the ice cream. You get more than you asked for, more than you were trying to manifest in your head. Like, it's always going to come back bigger and better than you ever freaking imagined. You just have to go through the trials first, or whatever. So, like, like there's gonna be trials, and depending on how you handle it, because he could have had a tantrum, but he just fixed the damn problem himself. And he went, he looked within himself and found his inner strength to fix the problem. The best way he knew how. He tried. He put the effort in. Even if you don't resolve the problem yourself, you put in the effort in a high vibrational frequency. It's like enough is enough. And I'm pretty sure, he had to tap into his shadow a little bit, just like, crush the creature that was affecting him. Right. And that's the whole journey right now. It's like, as we go through these journeys where people are attacking us in every way possible, we go through all kinds of shit. It's getting back to that childlike, or remaining in that childlike energy before the Most High. And with that, you can manifest everything. Because I remember the days when I was just like, anything I wanted, boom, I always got what I want, like direct, or somewhere near down the line, I always got what I wanted, because I was in a childlike energy. Now, once you get through all these attacks, these trials and tribulations from all angles of life, and it weighs you down a little bit, you'll see your manifestations start to slow down. And it's just like, give it to the Most High. You're not in control. It's not like you're in control of anything. You think you are, because you're allowed free will, but you're not in control. It's like the only thing you're in control of are your emotions and your decisions, or if you can't get a grasp on your emotions, because your emotions can dictate, of course, your decisions. And you gotta choose self. You gotta choose the Most High. It's just like, okay, of course you gotta put in the work to try to resolve the issue yourself. But what frequency are you in when you're resolving this issue? Even if it's your shadow self, what frequency? Because you could pull your shadow self to a higher frequency. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna have to do some dark shit. But is it out of emotions, negative emotions, and manifestations? And that's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you. It's just like, yeah, I have said and done some dark stuff, right? Or more said. I'm not into the witchcraft or spell where we don't have to do that shit. Like the collective, we simply don't have to do it. We can, we simply just give it back to the Most High, and keep going. Set it and forget it. That's what we do. It's it might seem boring to other people, but it's not boring to us. It's actually quite intriguing. How the Most High will throw us a lifeline, helping hand. Like sometimes it does feel like we're drowning, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not, there's nothing there's nothing that I can do here. There's nothing, it's overwhelming when you feel like you ever had control, right? That's where the feelings of being overwhelmed comes from. And I've been around people, like us simply been around certain people, cure certain ailments that they have, certain disorders that they have, like even if it's just something as simple as someone being shy. Suddenly that person is not, they shy around everyone else, but they're not shy around you, because and you don't have to say anything. They're just like, they are willing to approach that energy. It's because like some people are shy. It's not that they're shy, this is that they've been around the wrong energies. They've been trying to manifest around the wrong people. They're vulnerable and loving to the wrong people, or they show love to the wrong people. You can still be loving and not show love. It's just like love and light over there though. Like I don't have to be around you or in your energy. And it goes both ways. Sometimes you are the one in the low frequency, right? And of course anybody with no accountability wouldn't try to process why you would be in that low frequency to begin with, especially when you started off hot. Everything was cool. You were down for each other, willing to help out whenever as a result and wiser because you learned the lesson. You only remain ignorant if you don't learn the lesson. You choose, it's willful ignorance. You choose to be ignorant. You choose not to learn the lesson. You choose to remain in that toxic frequency, that lower frequency, that has nothing to do with anybody but you, because everybody has choices, or so they think. Everybody chooses their consequences, because everything comes with a consequence. You can get, like gratification. You can get gratification now, or you can get gratification later. It just depends on, because the more work you do on something, the more you are gratified after the fact, versus the less you work for something, the less gratification you have. You kind of like, oh, that's it. And the less appreciative you are, the less grateful you are, and the more you block your own manifestations. So I think it's kind of remedial, but it's kind of like, I feel like somebody needs to hear, because someone somewhere started their journey. So I guess it's not remedial for some, but for those of us who are, OGs in the game, it's remedial to us now. Like, we can have these conversations. The conversations will be so different if more people were on that kind of time on their spiritual journey. Like, it really would be. And, I feel like there's just not enough of these types of conversations. It's people just want to sit there and, hot topic everything, or other people's downfalls and stuff like that. And then when their downfall comes, like, oh my gosh, don't look at me, don't this, don't da 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 da. It's just kind of like, that's what you were like hoping for, right? Even though you thought you were manifesting it for someone else, you were really, because I've always, like, seriously, even though I put some toxic stuff on the internet, I was really like, I was capping, not capping, but yeah, capping, or whatever that, I don't know how they're using the term these days, but it's just like, they came back enough to where I responded that way, in that energy and that low frequency. And I'm trying to work, I'm busting my ass, it's hot outside, I'm working in a dealership garage, which, when you work in these factory type places, it's gonna be 20 degrees freaking hotter or colder above the climate outside, the temperature outside. And then to have somebody come in, not making excuses, but I'm telling you what was going on with me and my thoughts and the energy I was in, like, hey, go hard or go home. And that's how I treat everything. I work hard, I play hard. If I'm not in it to win it for myself, and not compete with anybody, then I'm just not in it. And that's just how I am. Yeah, I work hard. Yeah, they say, oh, she's working like a slave. I'm like, no, this makes me more efficient at my job, or this makes me a beast at my job, because, like, while you're sitting here slacking on your job, making everything look harder, when the pace picks up, it ain't gonna be shit for me. Just like, oh, how did she make it so easy? She did the work. He did the work. It's just like, yeah, you can be a beast at whatever you want if you really put some effort into it. You put your mind and your thoughts into it, even if it's just, has nothing to do when it has nothing to do with anybody else, and it's just about you. Even if it's selfish, it's just like you become a beast at it. And that goes on any spectrum you can possibly think of. You are what you practice, right? Your reflexes are what you practice, right? And it was I got some funny incidences on that one. I mean, I think I'll go to training today. Think of it. I gotta eat and then think about it. But yeah, you are what you practice, man. It's like that. What is reflected, what comes out of your mouth is what you practice, And sometimes what comes out of your mouth is a result of you being silent for too long, a result of you accumulating and absorbing other people's trash ass energy, and that's when you kind of delve into the negative spectrum, and then you feel like shit afterwards, because you're just like, damn, I can't believe I let these fucking people drag me down to that level, to where I was like acting out of character like that, because it's like high, the high vibrational things will try to come in with love and light, healing, and then, you know, it's just like they do so much toxic shit around you. It's kind of like, damn, maybe I should have just left, you know, to the point you respond in a way that makes you think, man, I should probably have left a while back, which usually is the case. You know, if they're able to, if you've been around long enough for them to drag you down like that, it's kind of like shit, you know. The karma comes about where it's just like, okay, well, you know, I let them put all this toxic energy on me. It's either I should have spoke up myself, but how do you speak up shit that's going on behind your back, you know, and you know about it, and it's that you speak up on intuition. You know, they're going to be like, oh no, they're going to try to gaslight you. So that's a sticky trap they like to try to set. Oh no, like they try to play low and slow, like we weren't talking about you, that's not what we meant, da, 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 da. And then they proceed to keep stabbing you in the back. And, okay, so it's just like, okay, do you want to let the time run out on them, you know, and possibly witness their karma or hear about their karma in the future? You've been nothing but good to them, but you say one thing out of place, and then while they've been talking reckless the whole time, then it's just like, oh my god. Or you change your energy and start like not even entertaining them, not even smiling at them, or not giving them any kind of energy. Then they start doing stupid shit even more. And one of the stupid things is actually, you know, getting rid of you. They're like, well, how did you get rid of somebody? How did it get to this point? Somebody's gonna ask, right? Like eventually, once all the smoke and mirrors clear of all the rumors and all the, you know, the hoopla, the best insults or whatever, you know, like they go through that whole, you know, those different motions, and you know, like it takes a while, but it's like it's a matter of patience on the end of the collective. Like, how did it get here? Is the question that people, how did it escalate to the point that it's so widely spread and widely known about, where everybody's fucking talking about it, to the point that this person has walked the fuck away, or you have brought this person down to such a low frequency, operating in such a low frequency that you had to get rid of them, or, you know, whichever you felt like you had to get rid of them, when all you could have had to do was change the climate. I mean, they like climate control, right? That's the shit they be on, like climate control. Okay, so, you know, change the climate then, motherfucker. You know, it's just like, you know, these, and it's like the whole thing is like so much black magic are done on bosses and, you know, like the head of households, that they're, you know, they become, what's the word I'm looking for? Neutered to an extent. So for lack of a better term, sorry. To the point that they're scared to just stand up to these people. They're afraid to tell them, like, hey, you need to learn your place. You need to not do this, not do that. And just like, I heard you, you will be going to HR, or you will be, you know, getting kicked out, or you will be, you know, not receiving an allowance or whatever the fuck, you know, type stuff. You know, I'm not saying the kids are doing black magic. I hope a kid, but some people teach their kids black magic, believe it or not, knowingly or unbeknownst to them. They do teach their children black magic, you know, and that's just all black magic is manipulation, you know, glamour spills. That's why gossip spreads so fast, and it takes so long for the truth to come out finally, you know, because it's like there's glamour spills around the black magic when they're trying to talk down on you and really try to downplay you off of what they think they found out about you. And, you know, it's just kind of like they want you using your energy so they can keep taking the little bits of energy and running with it. That's how potent the collective energy is. It's like they can hear a rumor about you and then have a group of bitches like come around you just to talk about it. That's how powerful the collective energy is. If they had a rumor going on about them, it'll probably fizzle out pretty fast because their energy just isn't that great. It's just like, okay, whatever, you know, like nobody really cares. Like I made a statement, I'm gonna keep making it. They talk about you, because if they talk about themselves, no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck, like seriously. It's just like, well, as a collective, people like having conversations with us, you know, like we, to the point that, you know, we exchange numbers, and it turns into, or has a potential to become a lifelong friendship. And there's people, doing glamour magic and black magic over you to try to cancel that too. They try to cancel your friendships. They try to cancel anything you have, any chance you have in a normal relationship of any type. Be it work, be it friendship, relationship, just any kind of the relationship with your significant other, your child, your parents, or any member of your family. And sometimes it is just your family that's doing black magic on you. I know that's my situation. Like, I know, one of them, I think it was her trying to pull up on me, like really truly ready to get her ass whooped. I feel like that was her. I don't know, because I haven't seen them in so long. So it's just like, I get a gist of what they look like, and I think that might have actually been her. So I got a story about that one. If I haven't told it already, I gotta go back and skim through some videos and find out what it was that I've covered already, because I've been like working so much. It's just like I've always been able to find another shift. Just been busy with all these streams of income and my creative endeavors, writing and stuff like that, and traveling here and there, kind of cruising without the trailer, because I got some shit I gotta fix on that. And just going through different kinds of different kinds of emotions with different types of situations, and feeling all these, like this newfound energy I have. So the thing I think not enough people are covering is the energy, what to do with all that. And I mean, you create, of course, but how it feels to have all these trash energies just drop off of you. Like, it's like the Most High himself just purged all these people for you, and like no ability to return. Like, because the thing that's going on now is like the energy, the negative energy has been so high, and it's just that negative karma that's being built up to the point that this cannot be repeated. These acts, this witchcraft, this spell work cannot be repeated anymore, and that's it's bringing it to a boiling point. Straight up, like this, it's coming to a boiling point where it's just like, okay, didn't somebody so-and-so already try this and fail, and didn't that backfire horribly? And then they try it again, and it's just like the ramifications of it, the consequences of it, are something that nobody wants any parts of. No matter how slick they are, like, or it just never gets off the ground, because people have seen through the illusion. It's like, oh, I saw these tricks before. Right? It's just that, they're tricks. That's all they are. And tricks to try to siphon energy off of a whole bunch of different people. Because I'm like, just one shred of information about the collective, and it's like, you got a fucking cesspool of piranhas just trying to eat away at it, just thinking they eating off of it. I'm like, nah, what? It's just like, yeah, but you're still malnutritioned. Spiritually, you're still sorry, stuffy. Still malnutritioned, because you're only taking the toxic bits of my energy. You're only taking the crispy parts, the parts that you think are crispy, juicy, or whatever, and now they're somewhere feeling crunchy, as crunchy as the STDs they tried to put on the collective, right? So, let me not. Shadow's trying to talk. She's trying to come back out. But they do this, and they'll spread a rumor or something about you having an STD to have a false investigation launched on you, and like act like you're just out there wilding and fucking around and stuff. Like, this is what happened to me, and act like I'm just out there spreading STDs. I'm just like, first of all, I get checked up, and I'm not fucking around like anybody would think I'm fucking around. Any partner I have, I get checked up after. Period. And I'm just not the sleeping around type. Like, I just, I wanted a sure thing, don't get me wrong. And it took me some tries, but until I'm just like, you know what, then maybe that's just not for me. I just shouldn't be doing it right now. It's just like, I just gave up, basically. It's just like, okay, no, not gonna keep doing this shit. And, I just went in, internalized everything, because I'm like, I had been on my healing journey already. I've been healing, but it's just like, I was just like exploring different ways to relieve the tension of just everyday life. Because, like I said, I've had people in my backdrop just attacking, out of the frying pan and into the fire type situations in a cycle. Just my life, just everything in a cycle. And I was like, couldn't for the life of me understand why I couldn't get out of the cycle, even though I was ignoring people. And then I got into a worse cycle when I, gave some attention to it. So it was okay, I'm going to start ignoring it again, and then it started subsiding again. So just remember, collectives, like, the storms may come in, weapons may form, but they will not prosper without your energy. Like, these people are energy vampires. Like, all they want to do is drain your life force. That's all they want to do. That's all they care to do, is drain your life force and try to use the energy to manifest for themselves. But your energy comes back to you. Their energy goes back to them. At the end of it, you just need to know how to weather these storms. Be patient with yourself is the most important one, because you're gonna feel some things. You're gonna, want to say some things, want to do some things, and you are probably going to engage, depending on your endurance, your dexterity, abilities, your versatilities, and however many factors play into this. There's gonna be moments where you're just like, oh no, I'm not putting them. I'm gonna say some shit. I'm gonna do some shit, and depending on what frequency you're doing it in, as well, and if you're being logical enough about it, land yourself in a worse situation or a better one. It really just depends. But on a spiritual level, retaliation, you just gotta get approval from the Most High. That's the whole thing. And a lot of people are like, oh, why isn't this person unalived yet? Why aren't they touched yet? Why aren't they touched by an angel? Sorry, why aren't they losing this, or if they lose this, lose that, why do they get it back so quick? Why do they always get something better? Because like, our walk is with the Most High. It's not with the fucking devil energy. We're not out there going out of our way looking for trouble. We're not out there like hoping for somebody else's manifestations or abilities. We're just dealing with the hands that we were dealt. We were dealt some of the worst hands in the deck and made it a fucking winning hand. That's why, because we were able to alchemize and transmute the energy. Like, we're not out here preying on somebody else's downfall. If anything, if you do us wrong, we're sending you, we're wishing you the best of the best, and enough goodness in your life that you don't have to worry about our asses anymore. Like, you completely forget about your life. I always used to say, like, I hope you live a life so good that you don't even think about me anymore. And apparently, they aren't able to manifest that for themselves. They feel like they can't, and they're constantly trying to manifest off our energy. Like the parasites that they are, like the spineless amoeba that they are. And it's as above, so below. And in my case, there's as above is my sex life, or what they're trying to portray to be my sex life. And it's like crazy how attached and invested they are in that. Just like trying to find out, oh, is she screwing anybody? I'm just gonna say this: happy, single, celibate. Been enjoying my life through the good and the bad, the struggles and the triumphs. Like, real shit. Like, my energy has never been so clear. My thoughts never been so clear, because I don't have somebody, always in my energy, because a relationship is basically someone always in your energy. Oh, they're thinking about you, you can feel it. Oh yeah, like they think about you and you feel it, you think about them too, or you're thinking about them because you are actually enamored with them. It's kind of like, or you actually have feelings for them, whatever words you want to use. I think I'm gonna cut this one off and do another video, because I just had another memory that I want to elaborate on. I think it's important. I mean, it must be, because it came to my mind by way of the Most High, of course. And it's gonna be another clearing story. So until next video, everybody, drink water, take care of yourself, love on yourself and each other. Yeah, love you guys. Take care.